Salut Julien,
Salut Laurent.
on est au Paris Fan Festival, qu'est-ce que tu en as pensé?
Bah écoute, moi c'est un festival, la deuxième édition est aussi bien que la première, peut-être même mieux. Un salon familial où il se passe plein de trucs, il y a des artistes, il y a des auteurs très intéressants qui viennent soit en dédicace, soit en conférence, il y a pas mal de jouets aussi à acheter, donc ça c'est chouette. Et puis on prend du plaisir en famille sur un salon franchement agréable pour se promener.
Qu'est-ce que tu as fait aujourd'hui?
Alors, aujourd'hui, en plus des balades et des petits achats, on a fait surtout une interview de Timothy Zahn, le grand monsieur des romans Star Wars, le premier romancier à avoir relancé le lore Star Wars en 1991 avec l'héritier de l'Empire et le grand amiral Thrawn, un personnage central maintenant dans les films et séries à venir de Dave Filoni.
Qu'est-ce que tu peux nous dire qui t'a plu dans cette interview?
Écoute, le recul qu'il a à la fois sur son processus créatif, ce qu'il a dit sur la façon dont il faisait sien, il prenait ce que le canon intégrait de Star Wars, son propre univers et la façon dont lui le vivait, il interprétait ses propres choses-là. Et c'est vachement intéressant parce que il a fait preuve d'une grande franchise sur la distance qu'il pouvait y avoir parfois entre son œuvre et ce qui était adapté par Lucasfilm. Et je trouve ça très rafraîchissant et intéressant comme point de vue de sa part. So thank you for being here with us, Timothy Zahn. We are very happy to meet you and to have the opportunity to ask you a few questions about your books and the characters you've created over the years.
The main source material were, of course, the movies, the three movies. Those I knew very well. I had seen them many times. While I was starting to work out the book, the people at Bantam sent me a stack of the West End game source material about that deep and said, we'd like you to coordinate with all of these. And I stomped around the house for half an hour. I don't want to have to coordinate. Then I actually opened them and looked at the material, and they had done a marvelous job of background material, planets, aliens, ships, vehicles, all of this stuff that I could now use. And so I was very grateful that they had sent me this. And so that was my secondary material. There were things like the Rhodians, all the aliens, the interdictor ship, which Thrawn used quite effectively, how the cloaking fields worked. So basically it was the three movies and the West End source material for a lot of the background stuff. Everything else I made up. Basically it was because once I decided that I wanted a good leader, someone who could inspire loyalty as my main villain, I established, since the movies didn't seem to have any non-humans in the upper ranks of the Empire, I decided that if Thrawn as a non-human was able to be made into one of the 12 Grand Admirals, that just emphasized how special he was and how good he was at his job. So that's why he was non-human, because that just makes it clear that the Emperor really appreciates his abilities. Well, he leads through loyalties because he is good to his troops. The troops follow him. His loyalty is mixed. It is to, first of all, to the Chiss ascendancy. Secondly, to Palpatine and the Empire, but only because he sees the Empire and its military as something he can use in the future to protect his people. So his loyalty is mixed, but his troops are very loyal to him. The way you beat Thrawn, yes, he's very intelligent, he's very good at tactics and strategies, and you saw this in Rebels because Dave Filoni understood him. The way you beat Thrawn is you give him something he can't control or something he can't anticipate, something he doesn't know. Though if you give him all control and all knowledge, he will win in the end. But those are the weak spots of any military commander, something they have no control over, whether it's a Moscow winter defeating Napoleon, or whether it's, I don't know that there's some extra army on my flank over the hill. Something you can't know or can't control is how you beat any good military commander, and that's how you deal with Thrawn as well.
The Thrawn is a very special military leader because he works straight from the heart, the
Yes.
culture of the people
Yes.
he fights, and he learns from it, and he can outsmart them thanks to this particular knowledge that no one else has.
That's the extra knowledge. Yes, the extra knowledge that he has that nobody else does. And you add to that his strategic and military abilities, and he becomes very hard to beat. One of the things I look at when I'm looking at what Star Wars is doing is whether my characters are the same as something they've done. In the last few years, you've had people like Rey and Jin and one or two others, but they're strong women. They're good characters, but they're not the same as Mara Jade, because Mara was an Imperial assassin. She was an Imperial agent. And because of that, there are people in the New Republic who will never trust her. They will never believe she has actually come to their side. So that changes the dynamic. Nobody feels that way about Rey. Nobody feels about that about Jin. So she is unique in that sense, and she would certainly fit into Star Wars. She's not a duplicate of anybody. The original Thrawn trilogy, Thrawn is in command. He doesn't have to deal with politics. He is the only voice. The New Republic has a lot of politics, just as the Old Republic did. But then in the hand of Thrawn, the politics are coming back because there is no single leader. Thrawn's presence sort of suppressed that in the original trilogy. So yes, and you see in the other trilogies I've done, the other stories about Thrawn, there's a lot of politics, and he is not good at politics. So the original one, he's in a unique position of being completely in command. Everywhere else, as in everywhere on Earth, politics eventually comes into play. I don't think that's the same Ruch. It's in the wrong period. I see that as either Ruch is a very common name like Pierre, or else Ruch is a title like Pharaoh. That this is a different character because he died in Rebels, but he is alive. So I think it's a different character entirely.
Yeah, it's interesting. So maybe it's not even a no-gray in Rebels.
It's a name.
Yes,
that is how I feel. We'll see if Filoni agrees.
I hope so. Thank you very much for answering the questions.
You're welcome.